starts here. Welcome into Game 1 in the first round of the Western Conference Playoffs. We're at Target Center in downtown Minneapolis. Tonight, it'll be the Minnesota Timberwolves playing host to the LA Clippers. With my partner, Jay Williams, I'm Ed Cohen. Jay, you look at the Timberwolves coming in. They're rested. They're ready to go. And they'll have home court advantage to begin here in Games 1 and 2.
And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to this series right here. This is going to be a dogfight. We got a couple of teams that match up very well. I can see this one going to length. Yes, 7 games. That's how even these teams are.
And the rebound taken down by the Clippers. Beverly into the front court. Just getting going here in Game 1. To Leonard. Here comes the screen. Leonard to George. 4-3. It was contested, but Paul George still dials in for 3. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Russell into the front court. A minute gone by here in the opening quarter. All by himself. Creates his own shot there.
The pro game has really come down to PNRs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
It's LA Clippers ball. George sizing up Jordan Bell. Nothing going here on that drive. And he's fouled. Nice move that time, and he's going to the line for 2. Paul George has got 2 shots coming. A career 84% free throw shooter. And he connects on the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. Russell with it up top. 5-point game. To Towns. Gets it to go. Didn't have many choices there. Lets it fly.
When I played, and I see guys do this all the time, when you shoot, the target isn't the basket. The target is actually before you even go into the shot. The target are your hands defensively. If your hands are down and you give me clear vision towards the bucket, that shot's definitely going up.
Karl Anthony Towns pins it.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
To Paul George. Paul George, 2 for 2. That's what you want.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it. This year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day. One of the best kept secrets in the game. Utilizing a head fake. Get the defender in the air. Crack into him. Don't give the refs any excuse not to call foul. I put that one on you. You went up a little bit lazy.
T-Wolves with the basketball. Russell to Towns. Sizing up the defense. Montrezl Harrell snatching it out of the air. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. T. Shot's no good. You have to like the confidence, but that was a difficult shot. Beverly into the front court. Leads 5. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul George to Leonard. Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for 2.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
T-Wolves at the controls going up the floor. T. To Towns. Karl Anthony Towns. 2 of 4 now.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
To George.
The one-round NBA Playoffs 2020 matchup games and highlights coming up next.
Nothing going here on that drive. George to Beverly. Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. Can't connect from in close. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Paul George at the line for a chance at a three-point play. Hasn't missed yet. Whoops. That won't go. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Jeff Teague. Leonard to Beverly. Gorgie Jang rejects it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Bamute to Towns, down low. Karl Anthony Towns. He's 3 of 5, 60% shooting from the field.
Old school equals high percentage.
Clippers have the basketball. Leonard. From the painted area, won't go down. Has a look. Napier's shot won't fall. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it. Long key from three-quarters court. We've reached the end of the first quarter here in Game 1. Jay and I back with more after this. This is the first round of the West Playoffs on EA Sports. Second quarter set to start. Neither team set the tone to start this one. Jay, do you expect that to change?
Well, first off, I'm going to take my analytical hat off and then put my fan hat on. This has been a blasé first quarter. Not good, not bad, right in between. Let's see how both teams come out and try to adjust themselves in the second half.
It's Minnesota basketball. Teague. Oh, lots of contact there. Still gets it to go.
I was expecting the dish there, but way to fake that one and lay that one in.
Paul George to Leonard. Nice pass to get things going.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Teague here against Harkless. Montrezl Harrell. Huge block.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
And throws it down.
Just wait a second, Ed. Wait 1 second. Can we go back to the play before this great play that we just saw? Just because you have a bad offensive possession, you can't allow that to go down and reciprocate itself on the defensive end. One bad play does not make 2 bad plays. You have to bounce back. That's how you play this game.
Beverly into the front court. His team up by 7. Down low for Leonard. Has a chance. Leonard's shot won't go down.
Let's be realistic.
Game 1 Portland Trail Blazers 4-7 Los Angeles Lakers 4-3 final.
Tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive basket.
Shot clock winding down. Towns. Man, that was a tough shot.
For average shooters, that's not a great shot. But for a great shooter, that's a good look.
George to Leonard. Nothing going here on that drive. Short jumper off the mark. Towns to T. They get it down for Towns. Karl Anthony Towns. He's now shooting 5 for 7. Timeout called here by the Clippers as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point basketball game.
Portland Trail Blazers led Series 1-0 in the NBA playoffs 2-0-2-0-1 round.
New blood coming in for both sides. Leonard to Marcus Morris. Strong finish for Paul George.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Beverly into the front court. They lead it. 4-point game. He was all over him. Missed the shot. No free throws.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short on the shot.
To Russell. Good on the layup.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Beverly to Paul George. Kawhi Leonard. Shot won't go.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Knocks down the first. Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. Russell into the front court. Down 3.
Game 1
Yes,
Sacramento Kings
D'Angelo
3-3
Russell.
Denver
He's
Nuggets
finally on the board.
4-1 final.
Makes his first shot.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Leonard to Beverly. LA with 4 to shoot. George won't go down. To Towns. Trying to cash in. Gets a look. Can't hit.
Denver Nuggets led Series 1-0 in the one-round
Paul
NBA
George
playoffs
to Marcus Morris.
2-0-2-0.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Off the mark at the line. Russell with it up top. The margin is 3 as we approach halftime. And he's going to the free throw line.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
And hits the first free throw. Able to convert on both free throws. It's the Clippers with the possession now. To Marcus Morris. He'll get it down low to Harrell. Whoa! What a finish!
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Russell to Towns. Had a chance, but it's no good.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss the shot before he even got off the ground.
Kawhi Leonard tips it. It's halftime here in Game 1. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
It's Jalen Rose, and I've got your EA Sports Halftime Report. The Clippers have a comfortable lead at the halfway mark. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaky. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Timberwolves have dug themselves a bit of a hole after 2 quarters. They've been scrappy, doing their best to be competitive. We'll see if their efforts are more rewarded in the second half. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
First half stats. Player of the half.
Paul George has already put together a pretty nice highlight reel for himself, and that's just after one half of basketball. He did a lot of scoring, and it probably won't stop anytime soon. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Fellas, back to you.
Tight game through the first 2 quarters as we resume play here in the third. Leonard to Beverly. To George. Deep 2 there, won't go.
When I hear these excuses after games, when coaches are at podium saying, it's hard for us to find our energy back, we couldn't find our aggression back, I wonder whose fault that is, Coach.
Gets it to go. Could have been more. A lot of contact, but no foul.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
To Paul George. Leonard. Not that time. He missed it. Patrick Beverly, not shaken for the early struggles. Maybe this is a sign of things to come.
Underutilized, underutilized, underutilized. Am I getting my point across? Let's see more of it.
And Towns with the flush. The smooth, fluid game from Karl Anthony Towns. LA Clippers with the basketball. Leonard to George. And the rebound for Towns. Russell into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. Knocked loose. Clippers have it.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Good look that time, but off the mark. Russell with it up top. Looking to make something happen. Bell to Towns. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Timberwolves have the basketball. Russell to Towns. From the outside, no good. Beverly to Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. With that, he's 5 for 9.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
And he scores. Unguardable, Jay.
What was once a tight space is no longer. There is absolutely no way the defender can recover after that move.
Beverly buries it on the catch and shoot.
And here's a setup, Ed, down the stretch. From a player who's been in these type of positions, eventually I'm going to hit you with a head fake, and you're going to have to jump considering I just made the last couple of threes. And that's when I find an easy way to get to the rim or force the defense to collapse to kick out for, guess what, another one.
Bell has a look. Yes, D'Angelo Russell. Very efficient and making an impact. He's 3 for 3.
D'Lo reminds me so much of Sam Cassell. He's not the fastest guy, but he gets where he wants to go anytime. The word that is key for him, potential, potential, potential. Will he be able to accomplish his potential?
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. George matched up with the former Wildcat. Leonard smothering deep. The Timberwolves have the basketball. T. Bad pass there. Clippers have it.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way. Patrick Beverly, couple of free throws on the way. For his career, 76% from the line. First one, count it. And gets both to drop at the line. Teague with it up top. The margin standing now at 7. To Towns. That'll get out of bounds off one of the T-Wolves. It's LA Clippers ball. Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. Kawhi Leonard guarded by Jang. The shot almost. Teague with the basketball. Right now, down 7. Shot from the lane won't go.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Deep 3 at the buzzer. That misses with a second to go. That ends the third quarter. The Clippers have the lead. The Wolves with the basketballs. We start the fourth quarter. And I think the best way to describe where they stand right now is they're down, but they're not out.
It's a game we used to play in the league all the time. It's called a series of stops. That means get 3 stops in a row. Each game is a game within the game. You get 3 stops in a row, and then another 3 stops in a row, you're right back in this ballgame.
Teague. Russell to Teague. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Wide open look, won't go.
I don't know why he rushed that shot. He was wide open. Take your time.
Leonard to Paul George. Here's Leonard for 2.
No good. Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
The screen sets him up for 2.
That might have been a little bit easier than expected there, considering the score.
Clippers have the basketball. Leonard. To Russell. Going to launch beyond the arc. Second effort. To Teague. The jumper's off the mark. To Beverly. To Leonard. Nothing going here on that drive. Leonard. To George. Has a chance. Knocks it down. Off the step back. Now whistle as Minnesota's going to take the timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter.
I know the fans didn't get a chance to hear this during the break, but the coaches are wearing a mic for the broadcast. I heard a lot of arguing inside the huddle. It lets you know that the intensity level is pretty high going into the fourth.
substitution being made in this one. Russell. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
George to Beverly. Paul George. He'll get it down low to Harrell. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Russell into the front court. They trail by 7. Down low for Jang. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Leonard to Beverly. Stuffs it down with authority.
That's the intensity you need to see. Whenever a player running back on defense after a dunk like that holds the inside of his forearm, it lets you know how hard he dunked that basketball.
To Russell. Five to shoot for Minnesota. Trying to cash in. Teague, a shot, no good. It's the Clippers with the possession now. He wants it at the rim and scores.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
From the painted area, won't go down.
It's because he took his eye off his target, Ed. As an offensive player, you have to glare at where the defender's coming to, but quickly redirect yourself to your actual target. He was more consumed with the defender than he was the actual rim.
And a chance coming up at the line.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Kawhi Leonard at the line for 2 shots. A career 84% free throw shooter. First one goes down. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Russell with it up top. His guys down 11. Knocked loose. Nothing going here on that drive. Missed it. How'd that not go down? LA Clippers with the basketball. Kawhi Leonard against Jordan Bell. Probing the defense. Kawhi Leonard. Missed it. He always has the green light, but the defense was ready.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
Beverly into the front court. It's an 11-point game. It's the Clippers who come away with the victory. They've jumped out in front, 1-0 in this best-of-7 series. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
The EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Clippers added a win with today's solid victory. They did it with blocks, and they did it with steals. More to the point, they did it with excellent defense. They committed to the grind, and got rewarded as a result. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Timberwolves just couldn't get within striking distance toward the end of the game. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you can tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. Check out the leading scores for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Game stats. Player of the game.
Paul George put up the kind of points that made him an easy choice for this award. He couldn't be stopped. And when he realized he was in the zone, he just took it to another level.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete. But even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. We got our top 3 plays for you. Check them out.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.